A guten Tag. Welcome everyone to Chabad history. Being it's a new year, it's Parshas Bereshis, we're going to begin with something that you wouldn't expect. I'm going to share a story or two that shows a positive relationship between Rabbi Shach of Ponovitz and Lubavitch, the Rebbe. So it happened, I heard this directly from the person that it happened with. It happened with Yisrael Gelis, who used to be a writer for the Yated Naaman. Today he's a radio host for Kol Yisrael, I believe, the radio station Eretz Yisrael. Before that he was with a program called Kol Simcha. A day after Rabbi Shach's Shiva, I believe it was November 10th, 2001 or so, he arranged to have to interview Ephraim Shach, Professor Ephraim Shach, who had a PhD, Rabbi Shach's only son. He had only two children, a son and a daughter, and he interviewed him about his father. Who would know better about his father than his son? It was a 3-hour interview. It was very extensive and very amazing. So one of the things that he told me was the following. One day, Dr. Ephraim Shach told his father he's traveling to America on business, classes, lectures, whatever he was doing. So his father said, when you're there, please give my regards to the Lubavitch Rebbe. And his father said, the fact that I disagree with many of the shittas of the Lubavitch Rebbe and Lubavitch, that's one thing, but I have nothing personally against him. And so Ephraim Shach came to the Rebbe, and he told him that his father, asked him to send regards to the Rebbe. And this was something that Yisrael Gelis told me. It's been written. So here is something that I don't think our Olam, the Lubavitcher crowd, even knew that Ephraim Shach. Probably most of them don't know how he looked and who he was. Only a few Israelis probably, and who knows if they were around at that time when he came to the Rebbe. That's one story. Another story is Rabbi Yaakov Gelis, the father of Yisrael Gelis, was also a writer and a Talmud Chacham, and his specialty was collecting manuscripts of the Bali Tosfos. And he put out Sforim, the Bali Tosfos comments for Chumash, for the Torah, wherever you found a thought from the Bali Tosfos on the Parsha, that he put it all into a sefer, and he made 5 Sforim on Bereshis and 5 Sforim on Shemois. After that, he said it would be a good idea to now present it to the Rabbonim. So the first one he went to was Rabbi Shach, and Rabbi Shach liked what he saw, and he told him to tell him some things that, chidushim from there, and anyway. And then on his way out, he says, ich gebe dir a Eitzah, gewähn a gute Sach, als du schicken des Sforim zu der Lubavitcher Rebbe. Weil either he said there was a große Boki in Rashi and Tosfos, or in manuscript, something to the effect that the Rebbe knows manuscripts very well, and Rashi and Tosfos, and this is the Bali Tosfos. So he was together, Yaakov was together with his son, Yisrael, the writer, the radio personality. So he looked up, and he could see that they were shocked, because just a few days before, Rabbi Shach gave one of his fiery drushes against something that Chabad Lubavitch was doing, and he was upset about it, and he laid down the law for the Litvaks and those people who would listen to him. And here he's recommending to Yaakov Gelis, should bring the Sfarim to the Rebbe. So he says again, don't be surprised, that I spoke one way and here I'm saying something else. He says it's not a contradiction. What I spoke is against the ideology, against the Shita, and I have nothing personal against the Lubavitcher Rebbe, and therefore, knowing his greatness in learning, especially in manuscripts, Rashi and Tosfos early editions and all of that, therefore he would appreciate this and send it to him, give it to him. That Thursday, Yisrael Geller was on a plane with a suitcase full of Sfarim. Shabbos he stayed in Borough Park. Sunday he already arranged and told I think Berke Wolf and Tuvia Bloy were in New York, and they arranged to go in from the side, and they had like a private. He had a private few minutes with the Rebbe. He showed the Rebbe the Sfarim. The Rebbe told him that he has most of the Sfarim. He's only missing by Yaakov Pekude, so he's happy that he got that volume as well. So the Rebbe then gave him $1 for himself and $1 for his work, and then he gave $1 for his father and $1 for his sofa for his father. And then he gave him a $5, and he said, "This is for the Ponovitz of for der Gedank, for the thought of advising your father to send the Sfarim to me, and you'll bring him to me now. But this thought, I'm giving you the $1." That's what the Rebbe said. When Yisrael Geller came back to Bnei Brak, he went right away to Rav Shach's house, and he told him he has $1 from the Lubavitcher Rebbe. So he told him, put the $1 in the back of the Gemara that he was learning, inside, put it over there. He heard that a grandson has the $1 in his wallet. So years later, he met this grandson, years later, and the grandson did a favor for the grandson. So he said, "Now I'd like to know what happened to Lubavitcher Rebbe's $1. Where is that $1? So he took out his wallet and he showed him, it's right here. I think the grandson is Yisachar Bergman. Rabbi Bergman was a son-in-law of Rav Shach. He married his daughter. So this is, I believe, a son of this Bergman. These are two stories. And now that we need Mashiach and we need unity, and people are uniting more and more. So although during the 70s and 80s there were very tough times, and there are things that can be learned from that as well, nevertheless, these stories are emes hamaisos, first-hand accounts. So we should use them in a way that Taka brings Shalom v'Shalva b'Yisrael. Bereishis bara Elikim. The first thing, Bereishis, is bara miloshen gili, revelation. The first thing a Yid has to do is bara Elikim, is to reveal God, to reveal godliness in the world. The way to reveal godliness is through Avos Yisrael, Nachdus Yisrael, as much as we can, and even more than we can. May everyone have a Shabbos Mevorchim, Chodesh Mar Cheshvan, as the Rabbeim said, "Wie mishtelt sich avek, Shabbos Mevorchim, Parshas Bereishis, azay geht the ganze Jahr." I think, "Wie mishtelt sich avek, Shabbos Bereishis," so goes the way you behave and act, the Shabbos Bereishis, so goes the whole year. So please, you'll sleep another Shabbos, extra hours. This Shabbos, make your time more of learning, davening, farbringing, spending time with your family, and just doing ma'asim tovim. Chaim l'chaim, they should help Yishav Mashiach, the Karev Mamish, very speedily, when all the Litvische and Chassidische and Sfardische and Lubavitcher, everyone will be united, the Kitzur Anu Sheikh Ofar, and will be together, Mashiach, Yerushalayim, Ira Kodesh.